Alright guys, long time no see. I am so sorry for not uploading at all last week. I was getting like 3 hours of sleep every night last week, and that was not by choice. But I'm back for now. I have a busy month ahead of me next month, but as long as I feel fine and I have time, I'll definitely be uploading. Now, I just want to get this addressed right off the bat. I'm in no way, shape, or form a fan of Snow White, by any means. I'm not really into those classic Disney movies, to be honest, but Snow White would probably be on the bottom list of those if I had to rank them, if I'm being real. So, I'm not making this video to say how hurt I am over the actions of the main star of the film, Rachel Zegler. I'm just here to discuss the big elephant in the room about the whole sentiment around Disney's live action remakes. So why is Rachel here in the news for her role? What kind of crap has she been saying? Let me just go ahead and show you.
I mean, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie.
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Yeah, sorry I put you through that. But Disney, why do you guys keep getting people to work on these remakes who just absolutely despise the original film? Like, that makes zero sense. Like, for casting, did you just go like, hey, which one of you ladies wants to be here the least, or who hates Disney the most, and just hire Rachel? Like, hello? It makes zero sense again. And let me reiterate, I'm in no way a fan of Snow White, but for the people who are fans, I get why they're kind of upset, because they're just gonna sit here and alter and change the original story up in really big ways in order to make themselves feel like they're fighting some fight they made up in their head. Like, why not just make your own movie at that point, dude? I never understand this about Hollywood. They want to fight social injustices and whatever, but instead of making good original movies that do that, they change franchises that have been established for decades. And I know what it's about. They know the original IPs don't sell as much unless they work twice as hard. But I mean, if you're passionate about the fight or message in your movie, that shouldn't be an issue at all. And I'm in the boat of not caring about any of that shit, if I'm being honest, as long as it's not just shoehorned into the story and it makes sense in the world that you're telling it in. I'm cool. But wait, there's more. So she did another interview thing with the main villain of the movie, Gal Gadot. And if y'all know Snow White, the villain puts her to sleep because she's like jealous or something at how beautiful Snow White is. Yeah, great casting choice again, Disney, cause Gal Gadot is gorgeous already. But take a look at this other interview and watch how Gal Gadot pretty much agrees with Rachel here.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again. So I watched it for the first time in probably 17 years when I was doing this film. The reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago. It's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power and what a woman is fit for in the world. And so when we came to reimagining the actual role, Snow White has to learn a lot of lessons about coming into her own power before she can come into power over a kingdom.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's the proactive one, and she's the one who set the terms, is what makes it so relevant to where we are today.
Yeah, so again, I don't know why they don't just go and make their own movie. I mean, I don't think Rachel here has the money, and that's understandable, but for Gal, she got Wonder Woman money, man. I know she can go do it. And Rachel, you were scared of a ride made for kids? Like, come on, man, don't lie. You're just hating just to hate at this point, dude. I also want to take a look at some of Rachel's old movies because I kind of recognized her from somewhere, and you won't believe it. She's only been in 2 movies according to IMDb, and I'm not gonna rate her acting skills based off of 2 movies because that's really not fair to her. But for the West Side Story remake, she was solid in that from what I can remember. It was pretty forgetful. All I know is that I thought it was directed by J.J. Abrams because of all the lens flares in it. Turns out it was directed by Spielberg. But anyways, the second movie here is what I really want to take a look at with y'all because one, it's a monstrosity of a film, but second, it's the most recent one, so keep that in mind. She was in Shazam 2. Yeah, I told you it was a monstrosity, and you won't believe what her character was in this film, dude. In this movie, she's literally 1,000 years old, dating like a 14-year-old. Yup, that's literally a joke about her character in that movie. Let me repeat that. She's 1,000 years old dating like a 14-year-old. I can't make this up, man. So here she is complaining about Snow White and everything wrong with that original story. I also remember that there's no dwarves in Snow White, the remake, by the way, for whatever reason, but there's not really anything else to say on that. That's just kind of icing on the cake in this situation, if I'm being honest. But how are you gonna complain about a fictional story and everything wrong with it when you literally played someone who is, again, 1,000 years old in love with a 14-year-old in another movie? Like, I'm not mad about it because one, it's a movie, a very awful movie, and two, it's a movie at the end of the day. Like, I really don't care about any of this. So, like, I'm not mad about that, but, like, if this Snow White movie was a remake, like a 1-to-1 remake, but in live action, I still wouldn't see it at all, just because I don't like Snow White. But as a person, Rachel, you gotta be consistent here, man. That's not good, and acting all smart-ass about it doesn't help anyone to like you. Like I said before, if you really want to have kids look up to you, just make an original story with good writing and a good character that kids can actually look up to. I mean, look at the most recent Disney princess, that girl from Encanto. That's a perfect example right there. From Disney themselves even. But hey, if she did that, then she wouldn't be able to complain. So I think that's the whole gist of it all. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this one today. Man, it feels so damn good to be back. It feels great to actually have a good night's rest for once. I'll be uploading through Friday this week unless something crazy comes up. I got plans on Friday night, but hey, stream on Saturday. And after that, I'll be good for a few weeks, and then I got to get ready to move. And I'll keep y'all updated on that. But if you made it this far, I really appreciate you for sticking through it. And those of you who have actually checked up on me, you're some G's, man. I really appreciate y'all. But if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe as well as the bell just so you don't miss any future uploads. I'm going to get consistent with it again. And all the links are down in the description below. I have a Kick now, so go check that out. Go ahead and follow me because that's where I'll be streaming. And if you didn't see my last video, even though it was like a week or so ago, I covered the whole Lil Tay being alive situation because she faked her death. So if you haven't had a chance to see that, I'll have that down below as well. And that's it for today, man. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Peace.